What's up, Haunters? Today we're talking about every store's scariest Halloween animatronics, so let's get started. And welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hopefully you're all having a good day. So today I'm going to switch it up a bit. Instead of starting with Spirit, which I usually do, today we're going to start off with Party City, which has given us some amazing animatronics this year, and especially some scary ones, so let's talk about them. First of all, I've got to mention the Skill Crane. I had him on the best animatronics list, and I think he also fits on the scariest animatronics list. This guy is just such a good jump scare. I think it's really effective how you actually have to go up to the machine and push the button to activate it. And also just the bear itself in the claw machine I think looks really spooky. It has these nice blood details on it, which is awesome, and the face is just creepy. So overall, the Skill Crane definitely one of the creepiest ones from Party City for this year. And one other one from Party City this year that's a scary one is definitely Art the Clown. He looks great, something straight out of the movie, and I really love all the blood details on him. Unlike Spirits where you kind of have to DIY it yourself, I like how Party City's already has the blood all over, which looks scary. Its animation is also really creepy. It's something we've never really seen before, which I like. I also love how on the one hand there he has the saw, which really just makes him a lot creepier. Overall, some scary animatronics in Party City this year. Now let's move on next door. And moving on next up, we gotta talk about Spirit Halloween, which I'll be honest, this year they didn't give us too much that's really scary. They gave us some awesome props, but none that I would say is really the scariest of all time. But still, they gave us a couple that are creepy, so let's talk about those. First of all, we've got the Dark Princess, which is the only animatronic this year from Spirit, which made me jump a bit when I first saw it. Its jump scare is amazing. It's so fast and just so unexpected. It's also really creepy looking. I wasn't originally the biggest fan of this animatronic, but really after seeing it in person, it's way scarier than what the photos online make it to be. It's supposed to sort of be like this possessed girl, and I think they did a great job at that. And another scary animatronic from Spirit this year is definitely Rick Ratman. It really sucks that they didn't put this guy in stores for this year because I would have loved to buy him. But overall, just look at this guy. You can see just what I mean by how he's creepy. It's definitely the goriest prop we've seen in a while from Spirit. They have blood all over this guy, which looks amazing. I love how he has that big hole just cut out in the middle of his body, and the rats that are eating him out also just adds to the creepiness of this guy. One thing I will say about him is I hate that his animation is just the same thing we've seen on so many zombie props over the past so many years. But still, he looks really creepy and definitely one of the scariest ones this year from Spirit. And moving on next store, let's talk about my favorite store for this year, which was Home Depot, which has given us so many amazing animatronics this year. Not too much that are really too creepy, just a lot of animatronics that are more scene setters. But still, they've given us a few creepy ones, so let's talk about those. First of all, here, let's take a look at the Fear Valley Wolf, which this guy is a creepy one. He's supposed to be this sort of zombie wolf type animatronic. Some of the scary things about him is I love the use of the servo motors in their mouth there. It makes it look really realistic to reveal his sharp teeth there in the mouth. Another creepy thing too about him is the design. I love how they ripped off the fur in some places to reveal skin. It looks really awesome and just adds more to this animatronic rather than if they were to have just made a normal wolf type thing. I especially love the look on his back leg there and eyes where his skin is ripped off. It just makes him feel way more like a zombie type animatronic too. So yeah, he is really spooky. But another one that's scary this year is definitely the Plague Doctor. He's really massive, like 7.5 foot. This guy just towers over you. And then he also features some really spooky voice lines. Definitely some of the best we've ever gotten. And also like how he sort of has a little jump scare in his animation there where he sticks out his staff towards you. And one more scary one from Home Depot this year is the Levitating Reaper. This guy, the really big thing that makes him creepy is just the size of him and also the design. Lots of 12-foot animatronics. I don't find them too scary, but this guy is definitely one that I would say is scary. It just looks creepy to have this massive Reaper just floating above you. Especially with the creepy design of him, I think it just makes this guy even scarier as a prop. And yeah, also that animation there in the head just also adds to the prop to make it feel more realistic. Overall, this one, another scary one, and a bunch of creepy ones this year from Home Depot. And moving on, another store I've got to talk about in today's video is, of course, Lowe's, which this year has given us some decent animatronics and a couple of really scary ones, so let's talk about those. So first of all, we've got the zombie fisherman, which is really creepy. I love the look of him. I think that's really what makes him a scarier animatronic. They took sort of the zombie vibe, but then added it to this sort of sea creature-ish animatronic. He's got like tentacles coming out of his face, and then his face there itself just looks really spooky. And overall, I really wish he had more animation to him, but still, he does look really creepy. Another scary one from Lowe's this year is the pop-up Pumpkinhead. This guy is a really good jump scare, kind of a similar idea to Lil Jack Carver from Spirit last year, but they kind of did it in a bit of a different way where it's a skeleton guy instead of a zombie farm boy. But yeah, such a scary jump scare in this guy, and he also features some spooky audio. And moving on now to the last store I want to talk about in today's video, we have Costco, which hasn't given us anything too crazy this year, but they have given us one animatronic, which is definitely a creepy one, so let's talk about him. And the scariest animatronic from Costco for this year is the werewolf. This guy is such an amazing one. He stands 7 foot tall and just looks so scary, just towering above you. He's also not only tall, but also big and buff, which is cool, and really just adds more size to this guy to make him feel even bigger than life. And also, some of this guy's animation just adds to the creepiness of him. He, of course, has the arms there that move, and then also the head that looks up to howl at the moon. Overall, this guy is cool, and another awesome one from Costco this year. And of course, with all said, everyone, that's going to finish it for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Today, of course, was episode 5 in a series of every store's worst or best or something. Today, of course, we checked out all the scariest stuff at 5 different stores. And of course, next week, I'll have part 2 of every store's worst animatronics. And if you have any other ideas for stuff you want me to do in this series, definitely comment it down below. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video tomorrow. Goodbye.